The play Richard III by William Shakespeare. The play begins in England, just after the long Wars of the Roses. The York family has defeated the Lancasters, and King Edward IV, from the House of York, now sits on the throne. Peace has finally returned, but Richard, Duke of Gloucester, King Edward's younger brother, is not happy. Richard is born with a crooked back and a twisted body, and he feels that nature and people have always rejected him. He cannot enjoy peace, love, or beauty like others. Instead, he decides to become a villain and use lies, tricks, and murders to climb to the throne himself. He tells the audience in his famous opening speech that he will prove a villain. Richard begins his plan by shocking everyone. He woos Lady Anne, the widow of Prince Edward, a Lancaster prince whom Richard killed in battle, and the daughter-in-law of King Henry VI, whom Richard also helped kill, and is heartbroken and full of hate toward Richard. When she meets him, she spits curses at him, calling him a devil. But Richard uses his cunning words. He kneels before her, gives her his sword, and dares her to kill him if she hates him so much. She hesitates. Then, unbelievably, he flatters her, blaming her beauty for driving him to murder. Little by little, he bends her will. By the end of the scene, and agrees to wear his ring. Richard triumphs, laughing that he has seduced the woman whose husband and father-in-law he murdered. Meanwhile, King Edward IV is gravely ill. The royal family gathers, and tensions rise. Queen Elizabeth, Edward's wife, worries that when Edward dies, her young sons, Prince Edward and the Duke of York, will not be safe. Richard fans the flames by accusing her family of plotting against the Yorks. Richard secretly arranges for the execution of his own brother, George, Duke of Clarence. Clarence is innocent, but Richard spreads lies that Clarence plans to seize the throne. The sick King Edward had at first ordered Clarence's death, but then changed his mind. Unfortunately, Richard makes sure the king's pardon arrives too late. Clarence is murdered in the Tower of London, drowned in a barrel of wine. Richard shows no sorrow. Instead, he pretends to be sad when others weep. Soon after Clarence's death, King Edward IV grows weaker and dies. Now the throne should go to his eldest son, the young Prince Edward. The boy is brought from Wales to London. His younger brother, the Duke of York, is also sent for. Richard, as their uncle, is supposed to protect them. In reality, he plans to destroy them. Richard arranges for the two princes to be lodged in the Tower of London for their safety. People begin to whisper, suspecting Richard's motives. Queen Elizabeth fears for her sons. She, along with other women of the royal family, the Duchess of York, Richard's mother, and Margaret, the widow of Henry VI, curse Richard bitterly, foretelling that he will come to a bloody end. At first, Richard is made Lord Protector, guardian of the young king. But he quickly moves to seize full power. He spreads rumors that Edward IV's children are illegitimate and not rightful heirs. He stages a scene where he pretends to be holy and unwilling to take the crown, standing between two bishops, holding a prayer book. The people are fooled, and he is declared King Richard III. The two princes remain locked in the tower. Richard knows he can never be safe. While the boys live, he hires Sir James Tyrrell to arrange their deaths. In the middle of the night, the princes are smothered with pillows and secretly buried. The crime horrifies even those who carried it out. Richard shows no remorse, only relief that the threat is gone. Now king, Richard grows paranoid. He feels surrounded by enemies, real and imagined. He turns against anyone who questions him. Hastings, a loyal noble who once supported him, is suddenly executed. Buckingham, Richard's ally who helped him gain the throne, starts to waver after the murder of the princes. When Buckingham hesitates to do Richard's bidding, Richard angrily orders his death too. Richard's hunger for power does not stop. He wants to strengthen his claim to the throne by marrying his niece, young Princess Elizabeth, the daughter of Queen Elizabeth and the late King Edward IV. But first, he must get rid of his current wife, Lady Anne, and, heartbroken and terrified, is poisoned by Richard's orders. Queen Margaret, the widow of Henry VI, appears throughout the play like a dark shadow, reminding everyone of the curses she spoke earlier. Her words come true one by one. Rivers of blood, betrayals, and grief fall upon Richard's allies. By now, the nobles of England are sickened by Richard's cruelty. The Earl of Richmond, Henry Tudor, a Lancastrian relative living in France, gathers an army to challenge him. Many nobles, including Stanley, secretly join Richmond's side. Richard prepares for battle at Bosworth Field. He gives harsh orders, executes more men, and grows increasingly unstable. He dreams of power, but is haunted by guilt. On the night before the battle, Richard cannot sleep. Ghosts of all the people he has murdered appear in his dream. King Henry VI, Prince Edward, Clarence, the princes in the Tower, Lady Anne, Buckingham, and more. One by one, they curse Richard and bless Richmond. They tell Richard he will die the next day. Richard wakes in terror, shaken and doubtful for the first time. Yet, in the morning, he puts on his armor and decides to fight fiercely. The great battle begins. Richmond's forces clash with Richard's. Richard fights like a wild beast, shouting that he will not yield. In the heat of battle, Richard's horse is killed. Surrounded by enemies, he cries his famous desperate line, "A horse, my kingdom for a horse." But no horse comes. Richard refuses to flee. He fights on foot until he is struck down and killed. After Richard's death, Henry Richmond is crowned King Henry VII. He declares that he will marry Elizabeth of York, the daughter of Edward IV and sister of the murdered princes. This marriage unites the houses of Lancaster and York, finally bringing peace after decades of civil war. This union will begin the Tudor dynasty, to which Shakespeare's own Queen, Elizabeth I, belonged. Richard III tells the story of one man's ruthless climb to power and his inevitable downfall. Richard, twisted in body and mind, uses lies, manipulation, and murder to make himself king. But his evil deeds turn everyone against him, and in the end, the ghosts of his victims drag him down. His defeat at Bosworth Field ends the bloody Wars of the Roses and begins a new era of peace under the Tudors. I hope you have enjoyed this play. Please like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you.